You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network with your host, Will Huckaby and Mika Villas.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of the week. It's time for the Wrestling Nerdcast. As usual, this is a fan-sponsored, supported, listened to podcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. Huge shout out to our friends at Pro Wrestling World. Shout outs to our sponsors at Indie Customers. Be sure to check them out on social media. Also, I want to say what's up to my homies over there at Off the Beating Path. Gave me some really cool swag and stuff, some really cool hats and stuff in the shirt a couple weeks ago and stuff, man. And they're actually talking right now. They're in the works of this. Maybe we're talking about doing some business. There might be, an Incredible Hulk inspired clothing line coming out soon. We don't know yet. Anyway, I am your host, the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion, the National Syndicate Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the National Icon, a reality TV star, the Incredible Hulk, Will Huckaby, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host. It's her birthday weekend, people. She just turned the big 100. She is one half of the world's cutest commentary team. She is the voice of Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment and Lucha Atlanta. She is the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the receiver of all things unsolicited. Miss Chicago Win. She is the Adonis of affection. Mrs. Bobby Tacos, a.k.a. What That Mouth Do, Mika Villas. What up, girl? Happy birthday weekend.
Thank you. I'm alive and awake and semi-sober.
I'm gonna say, yeah, speaking of sober, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't follow Mika on social media, you should have, because it looked like all weekend she was drinking from that good old Himalayan water blessed by Tibetan monks. She had that good old Himalayan water all on the Snapchats.
I was everywhere that people should have been, and there was alcohol. Let me say that Fireball is evil and good at the same time, because I don't know what it is, but I just know how it goes down, and it was crazy.
I'm about to say, I'm not a huge fan of Fireball. I'm not a a whiskey fan overall. But I will say that a friend of mine, a couple years ago, introduced me to Fireball and the apple Snapple drink, the apple flavored Snapple. Yeah, and it's really, really good. So next time I'm close to you or whatever, we'll get some Fireball and some Snapple or whatever. Even the pink lemonade Snapple works really good with Fireball for some reason. But we'll have some of that because I know how much of an alcoholic you are.
Whoa. I am a social drinker. I do not engage in practices that are destructive behavior or have a problem drinking.
Okay. What did you do this weekend besides, how did you celebrate your birthday, girl?
I drank. I started off before midnight on the 17th. At a bar. I drank a lot. Then later that day, I was in North Carolina. There was a private wrestling show, a birthday party / retirement in North Carolina. And it's a gentleman named William Cubitt. He is a huge wrestling fan. His family, he's also retiring from the Army. So happy birthday and congratulations to William. And I was invited to the show because, they know me. We've hung out before. I've hung out with his family at wrestling shows, his wife and his two sons. And let me just tell you, this show was fantastic. There were two people. Well, the whole show was supposed to be booked for him as a surprise, but you know how you guys are. You like to get into meddling and finding out who's supposed to be where and what have you. So he found out a lot of people who were booked for the show because it was supposed to be some of his favorite wrestlers, but two surprises. Yeah, I don't know whose favorite wrestler you are because you're definitely not mine. But anyway, Scorpio Sky was on this show along with Tim Dunn. And I am huge fans of both those guys. I was not expecting him. I was expecting some regular folks that I was used to because it was in North Carolina. It was at Hebron Hall, which is PWX's home base. So I was expecting to see guys that we knew, like the Gym Nasty Boys, Anthony Henry, James Drake, because I know for a fact that these are some of his favorite wrestlers as well. So Tim Dunst and Scorpio Sky, like, that was amazing to watch them. Also, Jamie Senegal was there. I love Jamie Senegal. We need to have him on the show. But yeah, it was amazing.
Remind me to unfriend this guy who had a private wrestling birthday party that didn't invite me. Remind me to block him on Twitter and all of my social media.
I think I was supposed to invite you, but I didn't want to share the pleasure of it.
My invitation got lost in the mail.
Yes, exactly, because you know who does real mail anymore. So I sent it to the trash can. I dropped you off by that one time, but apparently you didn't get it. Anyway, so yeah, that was this weekend with that show, and I just, hung out after that. And this weekend was wrestling professional WWE. There was TakeOver Brooklyn and, of course, SummerSlam. So from indie shows to WWE, full-fledged craziness for me.
I'll tell you what, you would have liked to have been where I was at this weekend, man, because I did.
Was there alcohol?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you, I did 2 lucha shows for NRLL. One was in Greensboro, North Carolina. The other one was at a Mexican flea mall / outdoor fiesta where there was like wrestling and bull riding and you could ride horses. Like, it was ridiculous. There was alcohol everywhere. And by alcohol, I mean beer and tequila. So you would have liked it. But defending my AIWF World Heavyweight title 2 days in a row. Had a really good time though. Was just really surprised. Like, Lucha Libre fans are diehard fans, man. And I first of all, let me go ahead and say this. I'm a huge Lucha Libre fan, even though I don't speak Spanish. But wrestling is universal. And I'm telling you what, man, like, the fans were so outspoken. They were so loud, especially Sunday. And I'm not a huge fan of outdoor shows because the sound just goes everywhere and you can't get a good feel for the crowd most of the time. But these fans were just loud and they didn't like us because I was a rudos. And it was a great time. So huge thank you, NRLL, for having me. Thursday, I was, as usual, I became a regular for USA Championship Wrestling. If you haven't seen it yet, Mika, I feel like you haven't seen it yet. Have you watched it yet, USA Championship Wrestling?
Yes, I have watched it on Facebook. Yeah. It's awesome.
I'll say I loved it. Once again, I had a handicap match against the Cuban mercenary and the Team Cuban. I'm just going to call them Team Cuban. 2 young guys, very green. The grandkids of the original Cuban assassin. Not the one that lives in Florida right now, the one who passed away. They are the legitimate grandsons of the original Cuban assassin. So they're making their way in professional wrestling. They're still very green. So I'm very fortunate. I was very happy to work with them and stuff. Kind of teach them the ropes and let them know their place so far as it stands. Like, I don't care how famous your granddaddy is, I'll still kick your ass. So be sure to check it out. USA Championship Wrestling every Thursday from like 8 to 9. They have a really cool old school setup, the old Jim Crockett Georgia Championship Wrestling studio setup. I love it. I enjoy myself every time I go there. So that was this week for me. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, Mika? Anything you remember in your Tibetan water blessed by your Himalayan water blessed by Tibetan monks fueled weekend? Anything else you remember?
Just one of the things that I remember is, because this sobered me up, as I spoke about Jamie Senegal, Anthony Henry during their...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All over again, girl. There you go.
So that was one of the best, worst ass whoopings I've ever seen. So kudos to both of them, because it takes a lot to give an ass whooping, but it takes even more to get one.
Who was it? Who was it? Because you was breaking up. Who was it?
Oh, it was Jamie Senegal and Anthony Henry. Anthony Henry is just a monster, man. He is a beast. I don't know. Oh, and the birthday boy, William, took a chop from James Drake. He was perfectly drunk when he did it, and James Drake left a handprint on this man's chest. I have pictures that I'll post on social media. So to all you fans out there, to all you people who, might stand across from James Drake, if you can avoid a chop from James Drake, I sincerely hope that you do, because the man leaves handprints and it was not pretty. So yeah.
Well, speaking of leaving handprints all over something, tonight's guest, super excited to have her on the show. We're going to talk to her about all things of destruction. That's a good segue. What do you think, Mika? All things destruction.
That was pretty good. There you go.
We'll be right back after a few words from our sponsor. Do you like what you hear? Do you like hearing me and Mika go back and forth between ourselves and talking to some amazing guests from around the world of pro wrestling? Well, then be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/The Wrestling Nerdcast. Donate everything from $7 and up. And as your donations go up, so do the prize packages. Everything from a follow on social media to joining our exclusive Wrestling Nerdcast Facebook group to being able to book your own podcast with a guest of your choice within reason, people. Because trust and believe, we're not getting Stone Cold or AJ Styles on this podcast. But once again, if you like us, please support us and spread the word. Thank you. Talk to you later. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast here on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. It's your host, as usual, the incredible Huckaby, chilling here with Mika Villas. And tonight's special guest on the line, been wanting to talk to this lady for such a long time. She's one of my favorite people in professional wrestling. Maybe not just in professional wrestling. She's one of my favorite people in life, period. Every time I see her, whether she's beating somebody up or not, she always has a smile on her face, which shows to me that she enjoys her work. This lady's a two-time big-time wrestling women's champion, a WWW women's champion, the first ever female WWA4 heavyweight champion. So many things that she's done, so many accomplishments. She is the weapon of ass destruction and the master of the Damnasia, Dementia Rose. Hey, girl, what's going on?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Let's get some preliminaries out of the way. Are you a native of Atlanta, Georgia? I've never asked you. Native of Atlanta, Georgia. Trained under the big cat, Curtis Hughes, out of the illustrious WWA4 training facility down there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Actually, that's not quite true per se.
What?
And I know. Yeah, I went to A4 under Mr. Hughes. That's why I met my first trainer, my official trainer, I like to say, Jay Fury. And that's when I went to Platinum Championship Wrestling, and I trained there.
Well, I forgot that you trained with Jay Fury, who to this day has a move that I've still been trying to master and perfect. 10 years later, I still haven't figured out how to do that backflip into the German suplex. But I'm going to figure out how to do it, damn it. Now, let's go ahead. You were always Dementia DeRose. When I first met you went by different. You were a lot happier, a lot cheerier. You were Aisha Sunshine, right?
Yeah, I was. Man, I've literally evolved.
Yeah, I remember that. Like 1 minute, you were, bright colors and smiles and happy and Aisha Sunshine, and then the next minute, I see this promo video and stuff. And these pictures of you, and it was a lot darker. You had the steak knife or the big huge butcher knife or whatever. And I was like, what the hell happened to Aisha? And then all of a sudden it was a 180 almost overnight. Why the change in character?
It was just time for a change. The wrestling world was so used to seeing Aisha Sunshine, so I wanted to give off a completely different vibe, and I thought to myself, what better way than be the complete opposite of what I currently am?
Well, you right about that. It's so, I don't know, there's so many things I could talk to you about. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way though. What is up with your infatuation with SpongeBob SquarePants? Out of all the things I know about you, Dementia, like that is the one thing that is mind-boggling, is your deep love for SpongeBob SquarePants. Where in the world does that come from?
Well, I just used to watch it as a kid, and a lot of people said that I reminded them of SpongeBob because of the smile. So I just loved it.
I mean, I between SpongeBob SquarePants and Supernatural, which I've learned that you are a huge Supernatural fan as well.
Huge. Yes, I am.
Like I've gotten up. I think I'm up to like season 9 now. I don't know. How many seasons are there? 15, 16?
Well, they're gonna start the season 14 in October, so yeah.
Yeah,
I
so I'm
even
like, wow.
I even have the anti-concession tattoo, so like I love Supernatural.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's hard. Do you have a SpongeBob tattoo?
No. No.
Oh, I'm so disappointed now. Jesus. I would have figured you would have a SpongeBob. As much as you love SpongeBob, I would assume that you have a SpongeBob inspired tattoo by now.
I
Holy
thought
shit.
about it. I thought about it.
Well, I'm like 5 seasons behind you on Supernatural.
Oh, dude, you gotta catch up.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, I think I'm on like season 8 because I'm at the part where I guess the little Asian dude, Kevin, the prophet.
Yes.
Like, matter of fact, I just finished the episode where Sam and Dee finished the first trial out of 3 to close the gates of hell.
Oh, yes. That was literally like my favorite season. I love it.
That's your favorite season?
Yeah.
Well, that's the season I've just started. I just finished the episode where they killed one of like the Hounds of Hell or whatever. I just watched that
The
episode.
Hellhounds, yeah.
Yes. Just finished the episode, man. All right, let's talk about wrestling because that's why people like tuning into this, really. Like they want to know how cheap is wrestling. Were you a wrestling fan growing up as a kid?
I'm sorry, say what now?
Were you a wrestling fan growing up as a kid?
Oh, hell yeah. Like, yes, without a doubt. Like, I have like 16 brothers and sisters, so like that's all we,
Well, how many?
did growing up.
Whoa. You can't just say that like that and just keep it. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
16. Total, there's 16 of us. So,
So what number are you?
I'm right in the middle. I'm number 8.
Wow. How many girls? How many boys? Because Will's blown away. He's got a lot of kids too, and he's like trying to imagine his life with that many children. So how many girls? How many boys?
I think hold on, let's see. I can't think of the number. I think there's 10 girls and 6 boys, or it might be 9 girls and 7 boys. Hold on, no.
Uh-oh.
The girls dominate the family. Like there's more females than males.
Yes.
See, like I come from a huge family. I'm the oldest of 11, and there's 6 boys and 5 girls. You know what I'm saying? So I understand having that many siblings. And then I have 5 kids. So like, I'm just a glutton for punishment. Anyway, get back. A huge wrestling fan growing up. Did you wrestle with your brothers and sisters and stuff?
All the time. I had no choice but to.
And who was your favorite? Because everybody always, as a kid, everybody's always their favorite wrestler. So who were you as a kid growing up? What wrestler were you as a kid growing up?
Oh, without a doubt, of course, Rikishi was somebody that I watched a ton. Like he blew my mind away. Like the fact that he was able to, destroy people with his butt. Like that was just literally amazing. And like I've taken so much from him. Of course, Stone Cold really got me into wrestling. I love The Rock and Booker T. Huge fan of Booker T. I used to watch him all the time growing up when he was Harlem Heat. Like watching him do the spinneroonie just like really like blew me away. Like, oh my God, like who is this guy? And I want to be him.
Well, you would never believe this, but obviously everybody knows my favorite wrestler is Arn Anderson. But whenever me and my brothers would ever wrestle, I was always Superfly Jimmy Snuka because I used to love the jump off thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm a lot older than you though. But not as old as my co-host that I'm going to pass the mic to, the illustrious Mika Villas. Mika, what do you have for our guest tonight?
First of all, Will, nobody's older than you except for Moses. Y'all were tag teaming back in the day. Y'all both tried to bring the Testament down off the mountain or whatever. But anyway, Dementia. Let's get into wrestling. Let's talk wrestling because Will brought up some things. You're like your brothers and sisters that you've evolved from this previous entities to who I know. I thought I heard it. I was like, whoa, hold on. That's cool. That's interesting. There's so many Wills out there in the world, and Johns and what have you. That's such a unique name. How did you come up with it? Or did you come up with it?
How did I come up with Dementia?
Yeah, the name.
It was honestly, like this was a part of me that, the world hasn't seen before, because, they always say in wrestling, who you portray in the ring is either some part of you or the complete opposite. What Aisha was a side that, everybody saw, saw on a regular basis. But Dementia, that was like, I would call my inner She-Hulk. And that was something that I was just, that would really get rarely get seen. Let's say if I were to get really mad and my inner She-Hulk would come out. So I figured, hey, this would be a good time to portray it in the wrestling ring. Give the fans a different side of me that they've never seen before.
Speaking of sides, I think it's probably appropriate that I talk about your backside and not Will, because that might be just a little bit too much.
No, you can talk about it. You can talk about it too.
So let's talk about this weapon of ass destruction. That is one of the things that, other than your smile, that just stand out about you. That was, of course, one of the first things people noticed, and now especially you got your gear, everything is kind of fitting and going toward it. Was your backside a big part of your wrestling when you first learned? Was it a hindrance, or do you find it to be helpful, especially now that you're more experienced in the ring? Like, basically, because I feel like people, they expect a lot. Like you brought up Rikishi as an influence. Are people surprised that you move? Because you move quick as hell. Are people surprised at how fast you are and how athletic you are?
But yeah, honestly, my gluteus maximus, or I like to call it my WOD, it was a huge problem for me. Like I was so self-conscious because it's so big, and that's all people would talk about, and it would make me lose focus on my match or whatever I was doing. I would keep trying to pull my gear down or find some way to try and hide it. But it was one day when I was talking to a fellow wrestler in the back, and they told me, they said, yo, you need to embrace it, just tell the world, let the world know, like, yeah, I got a big ass, but you know what I can do with this big ass? I can knock you out with this big ass. I can give you a concussion with this big ass. I can, make your nose bleed with this big ass. So, like, give them other reasons to talk about it other than just it looking nice.
Hey, embrace the ass. That's a a great piece of advice, yes. And it just it sounds crazy, but it's just so true. Pretty much embrace who you are and for everything that you are. I love that. You're such a nice person. Like, every time I see you're smiling, you're happy. And then when you get in the ring, it's a whole totally different mindset. Do you have something that you do pre-match to get you kind of amped or hyped, that you turn that switch and you become, this monster, this killer, this headhunter in the ring? Because I just wonder. I see you before, you're like, hey, see you after, you're like, hey, and I go, man, in the ring, I don't know what happened, but it's amazing transformation.
Well, actually, like, right before I get myself ready, the first thing I think about to really get me into my mood is somebody saying that Fred Yehi is not awesome. Like, that's it for me. And I'm like, okay, somebody out here don't think Fred Yehi is awesome, but all right, now I'm really pissed. Now I'm really angry.
Hold on. So, just because I like Fred Yehi, because I'm not trying to die next time I see you. So, if you think that somebody has a anti-Fred Yehi stance, then that brings out the monster within. Is that right?
I'm just joking with you. I'm just
saying, because now I'm scared, because I've said some bad stuff. I mean, when he did this whole fake proposal thing, I was hot mad that day. So, me and Fred, we cool. I hope we cool. Look, we cool. Don't I see you too many times around the city. Please don't kill me.
No, I'm just joking. Like, that's my inner joke I have with people that really know me. They always say I talk about Fred too much, but I always have to take that moment to say how awesome Fred Yehi is. But no, that's not really what I could get into to get me in my She-Hulk mode. But no, honestly, what really gets me all together is that honestly, it's just the fact that I have this opportunity to, have all these eyes on me and to get them to see why I do what I do. Like, because for years, people have been telling me that I'm too, what I do is too sexual, or what I do is, the fact that I'm not a small girl, or that I'm showing too much skin. And I'm here to show them, like, just because I have curves, that does not mean my body is used just for, sexual pleasure. Like, no, like, I have curves, but they are dangerous curves. And you're going to see you're going to see why. You're going to see why I do what I do, why I'm as brutal as I am, and you're going to see that my body is just not just something to admire and to say, oh, wow, that's a nice ass right there. Like, I want people, because, like, this is wrestling, and everyone knows sex sells, so me trying to, like, be overly sexualized, that's not a problem for me. Like, I could wear a burlap sack and somebody will still find me attractive. You know what I mean? So that's not even the issue. I'm here to prove that I'm more than just, you know, a black girl with a big butt. You know, because, you know, we also have the, you know, that stereotype as well. Oh, black girls with big asses, you know, that's all they're known for. But I'm here to show, like, my butt is literally a weapon of ass destruction that can cause some serious damage if you get in my way. And if you are in my way, you're going to find out. And then you're going to find out why you should never trust a big butt and a smile.
Hello, I love that. Speaking of somebody who I would love to see take the damnesia, I'm going to pass you back to Mr. Huckaby. Because, I mean, you know, he talks a big game, but I think you would mess him up.
I'm surprised he's never taken it. Like, wow. Like, I'm literally shocked he's never taken the damnesia before.
No, I'm not taking that move. I love you to death, girl, but guess what? I will punch you in the face. Okay.
Now you have to take it. Now you have to take it. Like, oh my goodness. Yes. I'm literally upset at myself that you've never taken the damn before, as long as we've known each other.
No. And you know what? First of all, I'm not getting in the ring with you, okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Here's why. Because, we've known each other for about 5-6 years now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. When I first started coming to Georgia, there was 3 matches that I saw that really blew my mind when it came to Georgia wrestling in particular. There was that match that Jay Fury had when he did the backflip into the bridging German suplex. It was Shane Marks, I want to say, versus Samoa Joe. And then a couple weeks later, I saw you versus Pandora in what was said at the time to be the first time ever in the South, the first time 2 females had a first blood cage. All right. To this day, that is probably one of the most physically violent matches I've seen, not just between 2 females, but between 2 wrestlers, period. And that was years ago. What was it like being in that match?
Honestly, it was really nothing special. I mean, not trying to downplay it, but like.
First of all, don't even try to be humble, okay? Because you ladies beat the piss out of each other. So you can go ahead. You have to be humble, right?
Honestly, it really didn't. For me, it didn't really do much for me personally for my career because, like, it was, I don't know, I just didn't feel that it elevated at all. I would say one match that really, really pushed me to my limit was the one that I had with Mickey Knuckles, against Mickey Knuckles. That match just, like, made me have to really, really bring my A game. Like, that match was, like, literally the turning point.
I'm going to tell you right now, and this is just me personally, like, I consider you a friend. And you are everywhere, and you've beaten everybody. You're in the ring with so many great female wrestlers. You know, it's Sean and Shimmer and Girl Fight, IWA Mid-South, and you know, you've beaten a couple of people and Ashton Starr at AWE for their Raw division and stuff. Do you feel like you get the credit that you deserve?
Well, it's like, honestly, it's like what my current trainer, Air Fox, told me. He said, wrestling owes anybody nothing. It owes nobody any. You know, be grateful for what you have and always pushing forward. Because at some point, you know, if you don't think that you're at a certain level, somebody's watching. You know, maybe you're at this level because you have certain people watching. So it's not the fact that I don't feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. It's the fact that the right people just haven't seen yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, like, obviously I know who you are. And Mika, like, no lie, when I first took over the booking at NWA Mid-Atlantic, when it was running in North Carolina, like, literally the first person I called to come work, the first female I called to come work for us and stuff and to book was Dementia. I was like, hey, Dementia, I need you to come up here and work this girl. She's really green. I need you to beat the piss out of her and make her fight and get her over and teach her how to be a tough female wrestler. And I'm not gonna lie, Dementia, you came up there and beat. And you beat the piss out of her, which is probably one of the stiffest damnations I've ever seen to this day, because she didn't know how to take it, and she had like Mika, like she had her head on like the second turnbuckle, and like it was just all whiplash.
Wow.
How did you come up with that move, the damnation?
Well, once I embraced this great gift, I'd say, many people have been telling me, hey, you should think phase or this, that, and the third, which I didn't want to go towards that level because I felt like, me being, a curvy female, like the think phase, that's not really it's not really a move that I would want to start doing because I felt that it would go somewhere where I didn't want. So I like instead of trying to be, I felt that it would make me too sexual, and that's something that I did not want. Like
well, I'm not. Go ahead.
It's just that I felt like doing the stink face wouldn't live up to who I was. And this is no knock on any female or male that's doing it now. If they're doing it, keep doing it. But I just felt like, so many people kept telling me, oh, you should do the stink face, you should do this, you should do that. And I wanted to use my butt, but I just didn't want it to go that route. So I felt, what better way could I hurt my opponent by using my butt? And I was like, instead of pulling, the Rikishi, I could just knock their head off. I can just sit them down in the corner, run full speed, and knock their head clean off.
Well, I'm not taking the damnation. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, I'm not against intergender wrestling whatsoever. I think that that's the next step in the women's revolution is when women say, I no longer want to be the women's champion. I want to be a heavyweight champion. So I have no problem being in the ring with you. But one challenge I will take was it the Buns of Steel challenge?
The Buns of Steel challenge. Yes, the Buns of Steel challenge. This goes out to any wrestler, male or female. Lately, I've been letting wrestlers, male and female, take a steel chair or a steel bench to my wold and hit it as hard as they can if they could hurt it. Yet, so far, no one has yet to hurt the bench.
Now, what considers you hurting it? Like, would you admit if somebody hurts you? Would you admit if somebody hits you, like, oh, okay, you win?
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely would.
I think I could take that challenge. What do you think, Mika? I think that I could beat the Woe.
I think you should take the challenge with your head getting hit with a steel chair. Oh, wait, that's not what you asked me. I'm sorry.
On that note, I'm going to pass it back to Mika real quick, Dementia. Even though it might not hurt if you hit her if she hits you with a steel chair, if she beats you up with one of her ratty little
Anyway, let's go back. I want to touch upon something that you said because I think it's important as a female, especially in the wrestling business, how you said you don't want to be overly sexual. And I get approached and I'm not even halfway as popular or known or even in a ring enough where I get people who are, I guess, how do you say, they expect a certain something when you say that you're a female in wrestling. How do you deal with those people, because male and female, who come out of the woodworks and go, oh, you're a wrestler, you're a female wrestler, let me be, kind of icky or dirty or nasty or just disrespectful, I guess, more. How do you put those people in your place? How do you deal with that that unfortunate incident that happens?
Well, first off, Mika, happy birthday. I want to make sure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And also, well, as far as meeting people like that in person, like I always approach everyone with a respectful manner. So if they do come at me like that, then they got to ask what's coming their way because, I would never approach them like that. That way, you approach me that way. Now, as for social media, well, I would say the dick pics are endless. Like it's endless dick pics, endless dick pics. But I also have the block button, the delete, the decline, decline request button. So once someone comes at me that way, delete, block. But as for
Dementia, you can just send all of those weirdos and creepos right there to Mika because she's the master of the unsolicited pics.
Oh, really?
I give social media beat downs. You can give them in person. I'll give the social media beat downs.
That's cool. That's cool. And, I've also had people, telling me, oh, you're showing too much, or it's a child, it's a shit camera friendly. But it's like, this is who I am, and I'm not ashamed of who I am just because it makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, that's just how it is. And it's like, it's not even sexual, because like if I was 500 pounds or 600 pounds or even a little heavier, than what I am now, I'd still be doing the same thing. And, a lot of people, when they see me tune up the band, they tell me, oh, you're working, or this, that, and the third, or, your ass is too big, having it out like that. But like, I'm not going to be ashamed of who I am. You sit down, enjoy the show, or you get the hell out.
There you go. It's all about, I think, positive body images, and there are so many different sizes, shapes, colors, creeds, not just in the world, but especially in wrestling. So I think it's important that, all the girls don't look alike, that everyone's different. Everyone brings something special and unique to the table. So that's one of the things that I loved when I first saw you. I was like, she is not a cookie cutter girl. She's not somebody that, you're going to go, oh, I see girls like her all the time. You stand out. You're unique. And that's what I feel is really important about the Dementia character. And then, of course, when you get in there and you kick ass, that's more female empowerment right there, because I've seen you fight guys as well as girls and destroy them both. Speaking of destroying guys, Will touched upon it in your introduction. You were the first WWA 4 female champion, the heavyweight champion, or the top title. Now, WWA 4, for anybody listening, is, of course, a training school here in Atlanta, but they have titles, and there's a lot of a history and talented people who have held that title. Tell us how, when you were champion, how that went over, because I know there were a lot of people who were surprised that, they would put the title on a female until they saw you work, and then it went, well, okay, of course, she is the best out there.
Honestly, it was brutal. Like, there was a tournament, and I'm thinking, other than Azali, I was the only female there in that tournament, and it was like I literally had to fight my way through men to get that title. And they didn't hold back on me. They never do, because what good would that do for me? And somehow I came out victorious, and I never looked back.
What are some of your goals? You want to go to other places and win these titles that are predominantly male? Do you feel that is a step that you want to take, or is there something else that you have in goals that you're working toward?
Honestly, it's not even about the belt, because from what I've been told, the belt doesn't make you, make the belt. So it's not even about winning titles. It's traveling more. I want to go international. I'm trying to go international. Hopefully, if not this year, next year, I would like to have a Lucha Underground tryout, WWE tryout, Savannah tryout. I would like to debut on Shimmer. So I have a lot of goals. I would like to also have a match for the Shine heavyweight title. And also, tagging up with Kiera Hogan, we're gonna be back up in New York September 8th to go against the Twisted Sisters for the Shine tag team. So that's something that I'm really hoping for in our favor. And it's like tagging with her, it's like it's really amazing, because like we had young African American young girls come up to me. They say, "Oh, you look like us. You're awesome. We want to cheer for you. We love you. Can we take pictures?" And that's really inspiring. Like, that's really inspiring to me.
Speaking of somebody who's not inspiring, because, he's himself, I'm going to let you talk back to Huckaby.
I love this.
Look, man, I'm just letting her get away with this, first of all, Dementia, because it's her birthday week, all right? And she just, when somebody turns a century old, you got to kind of let them get away with it.
Oh, my God! Oh, damn.
And he wonders why I want him to take a damnesia. I mean, come on.
He said that's so casual, too. He said it's so casual. Like,
That's what we do here at the Wrestling Nerdcast. You know, we talk to great guests. We try to have fun. In the meantime, I remind Mika how old she is.
You look awesome, Mika. Don't look.
That's
You look
okay, because
amazing.
I will still outlive him because somebody's going to kill him before I get the chance to.
Oh, damn.
Now, Dementia, you know, you from Atlanta, you from the A, you know what I'm saying, which is like the capital of the South for the most part. The home of Georgia Championship Wrestling, WCW during the Monday Night Wars and stuff. And it has some of the most iconic venues in professional wrestling. You have the Omni, you have Center Stage. Here's my question: when you travel outside of the South, or let's just say outside of Georgia and stuff, how much, like, do you make sure that people know that, hey, look, I'm from Georgia. This is what Georgia wrestling is all about. Do you wave the Georgia flag loud and proud?
I honestly, I mean, looking at Georgia wrestling and looking at how I wrestle, I don't think I do, because people have asked me, you know, am I from the South? And I tell them, you know, that's where I'm from. And like, they have a surprised look on their face, like, wow, wow, we didn't expect this from Georgia wrestling. So like a lot of people are surprised that I'm from here, you know. But you know, like, we have some amazing talent down here. You know, we have the Aja Pereiras, the Ashton Stars, the Fred Yehais. So Fred, there's so much talent. So, you know.
I'm loving the fact that, like, during this entire interview, every time somebody mentions Fred Yehi, she's like, "Go, Fred!"
Fred's awesome. Fred's awesome. I cannot stress how awesome Fred Yehi is.
I know. You know what? I know what I meant to ask you, because
Did Fred pay you to say his name? I mean, it's okay. Blink twice if you're in danger, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You say she's on the Fred Yehi payroll? Is that what you're saying, Mika?
I'm just saying. I got like slight heat with Fred. We see each other now and we tease and what have you, but she keeps saying his name. I think Fred is doing something, so it's okay, girl. I got your back. Got your back.
Okay, well, here's what I meant to ask you, because Mika brought it up. Jesus, I forgot what it was. Oh, I'm so mad because I had a question that was about you. Jesus Christ, and you were talking about she was on the Fred Yehi payroll. Oh, I know what it was. So when Fred did the fake proposal, Mika was so pissed off. She, like, if you'd have heard her that week's show, she was so mad. And I went and watched the video, and like, the only person really laughing and smiling about it was you, Dementia. How much hate mail did you get from females? That was the greatest thing ever.
Honestly, Fred got me. Like, I didn't even know about it. Like, it was like, I don't know if you saw the video, or if I wasn't even on the video. But like, he got me. I'm here thinking, like, holy shit, like, this is actually happening. And then he rolled it up for the 1, 2, 3. It's like, this is why Fred is number one. Like, this is clearly why.
So did you, like, I'm telling you right now, you were on the video and you were laughing about it. So I want to know, how much hate mail did you get from that? Because Mika said that, like, everybody else is basically pissed except for you. Like, you were like the only person cheering in the building.
It's Fred. You guys, because only someone of that great caliber could think of something like that. And like, you see Audra just like devastated. Like what the hell? How? And they're like, they're actually together. Like, dude, I would kick my boyfriend's ass if he ever did some shit like that. But it was really great.
Now, speaking of that, is there a Mr. Wody?
Well, I mean, like, do you mean like hostages or people are kidnapped or like what?
No, we're not talking about the Dean. We're not talking about the salmon Deans that you have hidden in the closet. No, we're not talking about. We're talking about. Come on, sister. Okay. Is there a Mr. DeRose?
They're not these. But no. I just kidnap every now and then.
No prospects.
No, because right now I'm too focused on stealing pandas and stuff. So
stealing pandas and oh Jesus! Why would you steal it? Isn't that illegal to steal a panda?
Only if you get caught.
Thank you, Mika. Like, thank you, you get it. Because, like, I used to work at the zoo Atlanta, but they fired me because I tried to steal a panda, and, like, that, I'm
No, you
sorry
did.
about that.
You did not get fired
No.
from a stone panda.
Yeah, I did. Tried to steal a panda.
That's got to be the best and worst reason to ever lose a job. Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
pandas are worth it, man. Did you not hear about the guy who stole the people who stole a shark out of the aquarium someplace? So of
No.
course she tried to steal a panda.
No, I'm not.
Thank you.
I'm not even dealing with that. No, not even halfway. All right, so Dementia, I know that our time is running. First of all, before we wrap this up, Mika, do you have any other questions for tonight's guest?
I was gonna help her steal a panda, so I think we'll do that off air. So go ahead and
Yes.
wrap.
Yes. I got the plan already. It's called Operation Cuteness. How to steal a panda. I got you.
Operation Cuteness, how to steal a panda.
That's right. I love it. I'm down. Let's do this. Go ahead, Will. Will kind
I
of
don't
looks
think
like a panda, just not as cute.
But you know what?
That's
That's funny, being that her wig is made out of panda fur. But other than that,
damn.
All right, so Dementia, we're about to wrap it up because once again, I know that you were very fortunate to give us some time and stuff to talk to you and be a guest in the show. But we got to ask you some questions to see where you fall in the hierarchy of guests that we may or may not bring back. All right, so it's just 3 quick questions, and then depending on how you answer it, depends on how soon you get to come back and be a guest in the show. All right.
Okay.
All right. First of all, because you live in Georgia, once again we'll have to modify this. Right? Sheets, Wawa, or QT?
QT.
Ew. She is the first person to say QT, Mika.
That's because she's from Georgia. There is no Wawa or Sheets here. Duh.
That's true.
But she travels. All right. Waffle House or IHOP?
IHOP.
Ew. What?
I hate Waffle House with a passion.
What?
I hate it.
Why do you hate Waffle House?
It's annoying and it's cold. It's always cold for no reason. Why does it have to be so cold? It's like below 10 there all the time. And then like their menu is limited. Like IHOP, you can get a Philly cheesesteak at IHOP if you wanted to. The most you can get at Waffle House is a freaking waffle.
You get omelets and stuff.
Nah, she has a point. She really has a point. They don't have French fries at Waffle House. I mean, come on.
Or cheese sticks. They don't have cheese sticks at Waffle House.
Well, first of all, why in the world? Why would you go to a restaurant that served breakfast and didn't eat the breakfast menu? Like, why would you? I don't understand people who go to places like IHOP and Waffle House and go there at 3:00 in the morning and you don't order breakfast food.
Because you don't understand
but
real
at
life.
least
That's
you have
why.
options. At least you have options. You know what I mean? Like,
all the options I need is waffles, omelet, or what? Grits or home fries.
It's boring. It sounds old. Like, it sounds so old.
Maybe it's because I'm an old man. I don't know.
Ding,
No,
ding,
you're
ding,
not.
ding, ding.
And get away from it because you hurt my feelings with the Question number 3. All right, you're on the road, traveling in the car. What's your guilty pleasure song?
What's my guilty pleasure?
Your guilty pleasure song. Like, for instance, that one song comes up and, like, you immediately have to crank it all the way up and you don't care who sees you.
Okay. It's Freakily by P.D. Pablo.
That's still better than mine. I feel like I have the worst taste in music now because my guilty pleasure song is Umbop by Hanson.
Well, honestly, okay, it's either Freakily or it's the old Disney soundtrack, like from the old Disney movies like The Lion King. Like I will turn up the volume to the max and sing some Hakuna Matata any show.
Wow. Disney music.
From P.D. Pablo to Disney, though, there's your whole line right there. That's awesome.
I don't know if you can see, and that's the difference between Aisha Sunshine and Dementia DeRose. Disney to P.D. Pablo Freakily. There you go, right there. Well, Dementia, this is the part of the show where we ask for you to get your shit in. Go ahead and let all of our fans and listeners become fans and listeners of you. So let us know what upcoming shows you have, where people can catch you in the upcoming weeks, and all of their social media, and where they can send you a bunch of unsolicited pics that you're going to forward towards Mika.
Yes. I'm on social media, Facebook as Dementia the Rose, or you can like my Facebook page, Wold Double D Rose. I'm on Twitter as Double D Rose and Instagram as Double D Rose as well. Upcoming show is going to be this Saturday in Milan, Georgia at Georgia Wrestling Extreme. I'm going to be at New South when it comes to Atlanta, September 2nd. And I also got Shine in New York at Le Boom, September 8th. And you can just go on from there.
Oh, you did say you was going to be at Georgia. I did see you was going to be at Georgia Wrestling Extreme this coming weekend, huh?
Yes.
You do realize that they are an AIWF affiliate, right?
Oh, yes.
And you do realize that I'm the AIWF World Champion, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're going to have
So
incredible
basically, she could challenge you for the title and win. Is it what you're saying? That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Exactly.
I was going to say the Incredible Huck versus the Incredible Ass. What?
Yes. I like it.
Wait, hold on. That's him fighting himself because he's an incredible ass.
Oh. All right. Okay, so she got me on that one. Okay. You got me.
I like that.
Anyway, we're gonna have to make that happen. We're definitely gonna make that happen.
Hell yeah, man. I'm bummed out that hasn't happened yet. Like, really? That literally hasn't happened.
No.
We've never faced each other, ever?
We've never shared a ring. We've never been in a tag match together. None of that, man. I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
my
gonna shock the hell out of you.
I'm ashamed of us. Like, really. I'm ashamed. But then again, me and Sugar Donkerson hasn't happened yet. I'm ashamed of that.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my good friend Matt Hankins and see if we can get that coming up at Sacred Ground, because I heard they got Sacred Ground. I'm gonna see if we can have that, and we'll put the title up. We'll put the title on that match. What do you think, man?
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, Dementia, thank you for being a guest on the show. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Come back anytime in the future, whenever you're bored, you don't have nothing to do, and you can listen to me insult Mika as well, okay?
That's fine. Remember, never trust a big butt and a smile.
Never. Oh, first of all, I remember. I used to have that cassette tape, okay? And Mika had
what the hell is a cassette tape?
I'm about to say, it was the stuff that you used. You had to trade all of your 8-tracks in for, Mika. That's a cassette.
What's an 8-track? Are you serious?
Don't try to play me. Anyway, Dementia, thank you for being a guest of the show, girl. I'll see you down the road, all right?
Thanks, Hub.
Bye, girl.
Bye, Mika.
Bye.
Mika. The weapon of ass destruction.
Old. I love it. I love seeing her. It is amazing.
I should have asked her. Does she call her fans Wodies?
Wodies.
Anyway, Mika, what do you got going on this week? What are you doing this week?
Let's see. This week I don't see CW.
It doesn't matter. CW's still here. CW's still here. Come on.
Nope. Okay, sorry. Okay.
He's still here.
Let's see. This week, oh my gosh, I think Thursday I'm gonna go to the WWA 4 training school. I hear some rumors that I'm gonna have some company from up north, some battling clubs maybe, or something to that effect. Somebody might come down to check out the show, so I'm gonna, of course, be the good hostess that I am and join Joe Kim there at the WWA 4 training school. I don't know if I was supposed to say if he was coming or not. I don't know if it's a secret. After that, I have to make up my mind on what I'm going to do this weekend. There's lots of wrestling going on. I know that there are shows like you guys had the Georgia, I think Wrestling Extreme has a show going on. There is shows in North Carolina. I am gearing up towards the end of this month for Dragon Con Thursday. Dragon Con Wrestling. Lots of great wrestling happening. There's also going to be a Hall of Famer, Lita Amy Dumas, will be in the house, and I'm going to cosplay as one Amy Dumas. So I'm getting my life together.
Are you going to be Team Extreme Lita, or what was the dude that she was the valet for
Edge?
No.
Oh, yo, S.A. Rios?
Yeah, S.A. Rios, Lita, or are you going to be rated R Lita?
I'm rated R all the time, so I'm just gonna go Team Extreme.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I like to say classic Lita with the cargo pants and the underwear. Yeah, so that's gonna be real interesting. I know. I have no clue
how to. You're gonna have your woad out, huh?
I don't have a woad. So my woo will be showing.
Yo, woo, weapon of the ass.
My whoa, oh, where's her butt? That'll be showing. So
Yo,
that's after that. Then I'm looking forward to. There's plenty of shows, but of course we have a season 5 premiere on the 30th of September for Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. That is going to be huge. We're selling tickets, season tickets. Check out my social media because our season tickets for $200, you get into all the shows except for the Southern Fried Gaming Expo, and you get a variety of different gifts, swags, including drinks, exclusive merchandise. There is going to be a pass holders only wrestling show, and I can tell you from my birthday, there was a special wrestling show. There's nothing like a private wrestling show, guys. You see names and people and things that you don't see at a regular show. So get your passes, your season passes for season 5 now.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what you should do this weekend. Friday, I'll be at Fort Valley, Georgia, I think, for AWN, defending my National Syndicate Wrestling Heavyweight Championship match or a heavyweight title match. So you should definitely be in the building for that one. This is going to be my debut at AWN. Really looking forward to that. And then Saturday, myself and Solid Cross, who are the UIW Tag Team Champs, will be defending those titles against the Left Hand Path. Former guests of the show, Trevor Eon and Eric Silva. So it's going to be exciting. I'm not going to be at Dragon Con at the end of this month. But you know what? Labor Day weekend means something different for me. And up until this year, and really I wasn't even thinking about it until somebody mentioned it today, but Labor Day weekend is when the PWI 500 comes out. And so I've made the PWI 500 in the last 2 years. And so I'm wondering if I'm going to make it again for the 3rd year, being that this has probably been my best year in professional wrestling so far. But I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not really. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But anyway, follow me for social media this week and next week and stuff to see if I make it onto the PWI 500. Yay!
Can I vote you off the island and the list?
No, you can't. Don't be a butt.
Oh well.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our producer, CW, on behalf of my co-host, the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, one half of the world's Keys commentary team, Miss Chicago Wynn, who is the receiver of all things unsolicited, Mrs. Abami Tacos, a.k.a. Miss What That Mouth Do. Also, she is the Adonis of affection, Mika Villas. I am your AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion, the National Syndicate Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Disrespectful Intellectual, the Southern Gentleman, the National Icon and Reality TV Star, the Morning Star, the Incredible Huck, Will Huckaby, saying peace out and support indie wrestling.
Bye.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.